Yes, welcome back to my tutorials. I can call them tutorials, but they are learning tutorials for me and for you. So this is Bazen Graphics. So we are continuing from where we stopped. Now this is what you're seeing right now. That's what we call Blender. That's the interface of Blender. Yeah, I'm not yet right conversant with it, but I'm still learning. So this is what they bring you when you open Blender. This is the first thing they bring you. They bring you this image here. You can left click on your mouse and it will go away. So the first thing we are seeing, this is what we call the viewport, but I like calling it the interface, the graphics interface, but it's called the viewport. This is where all your content is going to be created from. Yep. So our interface is here. The first thing I wanted to show you, the first thing I learned, because whatever I'm showing is what I learned. If we go to edit and you go to preferences, they will bring for you this option here. And when you click on the interface here, the interface option or tab, they will bring for you this, and you can adjust resolution according to your eyes. You know, it depends on how you are seeing these graphics. So you can expand them, you can reduce them. For me, I like using the default one, which is 1. Another thing I saw that is very important to see in your system is another thing in the Blender is on the system tab. This system tab, there is a part where when you scroll down, they will show you inside the memory and limits. They show you the undo steps. Now the default one is around, I think, around like 32, but these ones help you to know the steps you can go back to. When you, let's say, you can undo, you know, all of you know what undoing is. So the steps, how many steps can you go back by undoing? So here mostly it's always 30, over 32 or 42, but I like putting 100 because I want to go back 100 times in case I have an error. So this is our viewport, as you can see. And first thing we're going to be looking at is the mouse. The mouse is the one that is helping us to move around. You see, now the left click on most software is for moving around, but this one here is different. On the Blender part, it is different. You use the middle mouse, or what we call the middle scroll button. That one you use to scroll. So if I scroll, as you can see, it's going to be zooming in and zooming out, depending on what functionality you're using it for. Then also when I click, long press when I click it, and I start moving around like this, I can scroll around our viewport like this. I can look at the bottom, I can look at the left side, the top side, and so forth. So we are using the middle part of the mouse, that one that scrolls. So that scrolling part, you can click on it and move it around. Then another thing is also, now if we want to move it to the left, for example, this viewport or this interface or this cube, if we want to move it to the left like this side, we are going to be moving it along the X and Y Z axis. So this red one here, the red line you see here, it is representing X axis, like you can see on the top right. It's red, shows it's on the axis, on the X axis. And this blue one that is passing through like this, this is the Y axis. And the one that is blue, blue is the Z axis and green is the Y axis. So Z axis is like vertical, like going to heaven, if you are looking at it in 3D way format. So if we want to move them along the X axis, which is the red, we have to move it along like this. So we are going to click on our keyboard on Shift. You click the Shift button and you click on the middle mouse or the scroll. As you can see now, you can pen it around the X axis. You can pen it around the Y axis. You see, when we just click on the scroll button without clicking the Shift button, it helps us to move around our viewport. It helps us to move around a viewport. So people, if I use the wrong words, please don't blame me. Like I said, I'm also learning Blender, and I'm showcasing my things so that I can show you that I'm also learning. So when I don't pronounce the words well, don't blame me. I'm not yet that perfect at Blender. So one is use this one, click on the scroll button and you can move around our scene. Then also you can click shift and you can move it left or right along the X, the Z axis, the X axis, and the Y axis. So those things will come in simpler for you as you keep on practicing, because also me, I'm getting used to them. Then there are also some things that we perform on these objects. This cube is called the cube, and for example, before I go to those functionalities or transformations, to remove this cube, to delete it, you can right click on your mouse, and when you right click, you can go to delete and the thing goes away. Then Control Z is the same as most of the undoings, shortcut of undo, and it's back. Or you can just click on the shortcut of the keyboard. You just click on letter X. So when you click on letter X, they bring you an option. Do you want to delete selected objects? You'll be like, yes, let's delete. So I always encourage people to always get these shortcuts, because they are very, very important. They are very important when you keep on doing Blender. You will learn that they are very important. So to create a new object, you can either come to this layout in the menu, top menu, and you go to add, and they bring you an option, and you select mesh and select any object you want or anything you want here. And the shortcut here, even when you come and hover on add here on the top menu, you see they are showing you Shift A. That means it's a shortcut for creating these objects. Shift plus letter A brings for you the same option, and you select, let's create, for example, let's get a cylinder. Now you see this cylinder that we have created? Yeah, that is the cylinder. That's how you create another object. So if you want another one, we can come and go to mesh, and we select cube, and they bring for you another cube. Yeah, they bring for you a cube. So I did Control Z to remove it. So I wanted to show things concerning this cube. Now, for example, let's first delete it. If I create it again, and I say I want to use a cylinder. I want to use a cylinder. As you can see, these lines here, let me zoom it in, and let me position it by clicking on Shift and on the center mouse, or the scroll on your mouse, and center it. You see these lines that you are seeing right now? These lines are created by what we call vertices. So this point here is a vertex. This one is a vertex. This one is a vertex. This one is a vertex. It's a vertex, not a vertex. In plural, it's what we call vertices. So these ones help you to create different shapes. So what do I mean? For example, if I remove it and I create it again, and I say cylinder, on the left bottom, they will bring for you this pop-up, which you can change the number of vertices. If I zoom it in, as you can see, the number of vertices are 32. But if I put, like, let's say 100, you will see that the lines on the cylinder are going to increase. As you can see, they're increasing. So the more vertices, the more circular the object is, or the cylinder is. It helps you to create lines. Those things will help us in the future. The radius, as we all know, the radius is the circular size. So if I'm to view it from the top here, this is the radius here. So the radius is from here, let's say this vertex to this vertex. So that circle, this we can say width or something, but that's the radius. So here, if I put like on 2, we can see that the radius has increased. And if I put it back on 1, the radius has reduced. So you can increase, and this option here is always brought at the beginning, and when you change it in shapes or you distort it in shapes, sometimes you never get it back. So it's always advisable to use it on the the first time you create this object. So if we put like 3 here, we can see we have created a rectangle. No, we have created a triangle. So it has one vertex, another one, and another one, hence creating vertices which create the shape. So if we go back to 3D, as you can see that we have created a triangle. So if we want to go back to the default ones, the ones that they are defaultly set by Blender, you come on this cylinder settings, right click, and you select reset to default value, and they'll bring you back to your shape. So other things we shall learn them as we continue, as I show you other things. This part here on the left top, we have this part here, which helps us to do different things on our cylinder. For me, let me bring, because I like using a cube, let me first bring my cube here. And here I'm going to expand them. You just go on the left, on the right, on the edges, here on the edges, and they'll bring for you this move tool. Then you will see the different words here. We have the cursor, we have the move tool. So the move tool helps you to move it along these axes, or along this axis or axes. So like now this red one is the x-axis. I can move the cube along the x-axis, and this one is the y-axis. I can move it along the y-axis, and also the blue one I can move it along the z-axis. Then we have also rotate. You can rotate it along the z-axis, you can rotate it along the y-axis, and so forth. Then we have also the scale, which helps us to scale them along the x-axis. So if I can scale along the red one is the x-axis, I can scale it. As you can see that my cube is going to increase, and also I can scale it on the y-axis, and it can also increase on the z-axis. It can also increase. Yep. I think the video, this one is long enough for now, and let me stop here. Still the interface, and we shall continue for the next part, because there are some things that I haven't showed. We are still looking at the interface. Thanks for watching. We remain Bazen Graphics. Let me be seeing you in the next phase. Thank you for watching.